India is the 7th largest country in the world in terms of area and is the second most populous country in the world with a population of about 1.15 billion people. The country has some of the richest persons in the world, but according to official sources, 22% of its population, which is equal to more than 300 million people, lives below the poverty line. It is a land of contrasts, paradoxes, and even contradictions. For Tara, who lives in a slum on the outskirts of Delhi and earns about $2 a day, feeding herself and her child is becoming increasingly difficult as everything has become very expensive. Over 75% of the nation's population still resides in villages which are spread across 28 states and 7 union territories with diverse languages, customs and culture. India produces enough grains to feed the entire nation, but despite that there is widespread agrarian distress which results in farmers committing suicide in some states, and about 230 million people suffer from chronic hunger and 40% of children are underweight.
We still have largest number of pregnant and lactating women who are malnourished. In the world, we have the largest number of undernourished children. And that is something which should be a matter of utmost concern for the policymakers.
Despite tremendous economic growth, more than 40% of the population currently lives on less than $1.25 per day. 128 million people have no access to clean drinking water sources, and a staggering 665 million have no access to proper sanitation. Over and above all these issues is corruption, as it further complicates all these problems.
Police, lower judiciary and land administration, in that order, have been judged to be the most corrupt.
What is even more worrying is the fact that top judges of the High and Supreme Court are said to be involved in making decisions that smacks of corruption and financial influence.
Several former Chief Justices of India have said that there is a good deal of corruption in the judiciary, even in the higher judiciary in this country.
The Asian Development Bank in a report had stated that corruption is the third largest problematic factor in India after poor infrastructure and inefficient bureaucracy. The benefits of planned economic growth have yet to reach the poor, and as experts say, with corruption existing in all sections of the society, nothing could hurt them more. Traditionally, Indian society has been hierarchical in nature and divides people on the basis of caste from birth, depending on which profession one belongs to. Dalits, who are considered outcasts, have managed to get a low-caste politician in Mayawati to head India's most populous state of Uttar Pradesh. However, instead of helping the poor and the downtrodden, she has been accused of corruption and misusing public funds to make parks and statues, promoting herself and her Bahujan Samaj party. Of late, gender discrimination has become more evident even in the demographic indicators of the country, with an adverse sex ratio of 933 females for every 1,000 males. Every day, about 2,000 girl fetuses are aborted despite the ban on sex tests during pregnancy. Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, in his independence speech to the nation this year, termed female feticides as a shame on Indian society and added that the country cannot progress unless women become equal partners in its growth. While the human development indices are so low in the country, India has spent as much as $10.5 billion on military imports in the last few years alone, making it among the largest arms importers in the developing world. Inequality in India has grown more in the last 10 to 14 years than ever before, creating innumerable problems which are unlikely to be solved by policymakers unless they are addressed soon. According to economists, the divide between the poor and the rich is widening. Tara's hopes of being able to give her child a better future may just fade. Sanjay Sethi, Press TV, New Delhi.